Hey guys, SFP here, and welcome to the second episode of this week. My fourth in total here for the FIFA career mode for DC United. And see, Andrew Dexter actually wants to have a go at goal, so why not? Let's let him. I mean, it's FC Dallas. FC Dallas tends to be unpredictable. There are certain moments where FC Dallas is a danger. As I remember last season of 2014 at the beginning, they actually were a very good team and a very dangerous team to play against. But then with the loss to Mauro Diaz, they had to go through some tactical changes and some personnel changes, but they managed to get into the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. However, they had to change their system of play. They didn't have the create. I guess they had creative playmakers, but they didn't have it to the caliber of Amaro Diaz, and so they went with a more direct approach with Oscar Pareja, going to that instead of replacing him person to person or person for person. And here we go with our starting 11s. And I'm going with a B team at the moment as well because, well, Andrew Dexter technically is the only player that wanted to play. I was kind of lazy and figured I would just take my B team instead. And here we go with starting 11 for FC Dallas. And we have Amaro Diaz there. We have the Panamanian Blas Perez, Fabian Castillo, and Harris there in the wings. And Castillo is a very pacey player, so I'm worried that he's going to exploit my back line, which isn't exactly athletically adept enough to handle someone like Fabian Castillo. And here we go with the first play of the game, which is from Harris, who gets a deflection from one of my defenders, O'Pair. Pair is a rookie who DC United got from the LA Galaxy for basically nothing. Now, for those of you who don't know, or I guess for those of you who remember, clearly that Opare was given to us with the, or I guess we exchanged him for a higher spot in the allocation order. Well, not allocation order, but the order for the returning U.S. players, because Galaxy were really keen. And I don't mean Robbie Keenan. Wow, that was a bad joke. And look at that nice shot there that was just short of the mark. But anyways, they were actually going for, and that's a handball. That was a clear handball. But anyways, as I was saying, they were going for Sasha Klashin, who is now playing for New York. But with all of the complications that MLS poses to themselves, the trade just didn't happen. And here I'm switching, oh no, I'm keeping Chris Rolfe here for the corner kick. And the corner kick is bad again because I'm still not used to this system, but hopefully by mid-season I'll be able to tear this league apart instead of just getting these 1-0 victories. And that's the end of the first half here. Nothing much to see. Both teams didn't have much to offer this first half. But hopefully in the second half things will liven up and we can get the game going here. Now I am going to switch. I have Michael Seaton and I'm going to take Estrada out for Seaton. I'm also going to switch Arieta here out for Doyle. And lastly, I'm going to put Michael Farfan in for Perry Kitchen. Kyle Becker. Kyle Becker was such a promising player for Toronto a couple of seasons. Is it last season ago or 2 seasons ago? And I guess the player just couldn't adapt to the needs of Toronto. But who can blame him? Toronto is a unique situation that they just can't seem to get a good team going into the a good team, I should say, for the season, and they haven't been able to get to the playoffs for about 9 years, I believe. Well, since their inception. And here Carl Becker gets the first yellow card of the game. Anyways, here we go with FC Dallas's goalkeeper Kennedy going in with the ball here. Now Kennedy they actually obtained because of the defunct Chivas USA team. And they managed to get a good goalkeeper because I think I rate him very highly. And people have been saying that he should be a U.S. national team caliber goalkeeper. I'm not quite sure I'm there yet, especially because he occupies the same age range as a couple of other players like Nick Ronaldo. But anyways, speaking of FC Dallas in general, I think Oscar Pareja has been a great coach for this team. He's basically brought a different type of mentality, something that shows Hyman didn't seem to fully understand when it comes to this FC Dallas team. And Pareja is also shown to be very trustworthy of his more younger players, and it's something that most coaches don't seem to have. Because in a profession, or I guess in a field or a job where results are very important, you tend to go with the safer choice, which would be the more experienced choice. Anyways, here we go with the second game against the Houston Dynamo. And I believe the previous game I tied 0-0, so there wasn't really much to comment on that. And here I'm going to try a few younger players that I haven't been able to use at the moment. So I put in the rookie, well, not rookie, but the youngster Colin Martin, and I'm also going to put Aguilar if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, I guess I just put him on the bench, which at least is better than him being in the reserves. And here we go with the Houston Dynamo, who have also obtained a very good player by the name of Eric El Cubo Torres, who at the moment is in Chivas de Guadalajara, if I'm not mistaken. And unfortunately for him, he's been on the bench. And the thing is that his loan to Chivas extends all the way to the summer, but if he's not being played by by the coach of Chivas de Guadalajara, which I'm trying to remember his name, and I can't seem to recall. I know he was the Mexican national team coach at during the beginning of the cycle of the last World Cup, which was the 2014 in Brazil. I'm drawing a blank, but anyways, he seems to be on the bench and occasionally gets off it and participates in some of the games, but his playing time is very low, and it's not something that he expected. So hopefully, if things work out for the best, we will be able to see him earlier than the summer transfer window. Now going back to the game, here we go with Eddie Johnson with a nice pass by Fabian Espino. Fabian Espino shoots, and what a goal! That is probably the best goal I've scored so far this season, and hopefully there will be better ones. But look at that nice chip pass here by Eddie Johnson, and a nice, cool, calm, and collected shot by Fabian Espindola. There was nothing Kennedy could have done. And the fans go wild. That is his third goal. So at the moment, he is my highest scoring player for this team in this season. And now the Houston Dynamo, and now right when I was saying Houston Dynamo, I get the ball back. And here we go with Halsey, who's going again for another similar play, but unfortunately the youngster Martin wasn't able to get a good position for the shot. And off we go again. Still 1-0. And now here we go with Colin Martin with a nice pass by Eddie Johnson. Eddie Johnson is going to shoot. And no cigar, just wide there. Eddie Johnson seems disappointed, and so does Fabian Espindola. Come on, guys, we're 1-0 up. Keep your heads up. And here we go with Houston putting it back in play. And look at that. Now they're on my side of the field. And what a nice shot there by the Houston forward. It's a nice headset. Colin Carr there. I know his last name is Carr. I just can't remember his. Is it Carlin? Colin Carr. But anyways, Martin is there with the ball on the Houston side of the field and serves the ball, but unfortunately there's no one at the end of it. And that's how the first half will end, with a 1-0 victory at the moment. And I have basically four times as many shot as the Houston team. And here I'm going to make my changes here with Eddie Johnson coming out. And I'm putting the rookie Aguilar for his first game of this season. Carlton Martin, being a youngster and inexperienced, his stamina is very low, so I'm going to put Chris Rolfe in to replace him. And the beginning of the second season commences, and a nice header ball and nice fortuitous save by Bill Hamid there. The ball went straight at him, and luckily he wasn't. He was able to collect the ball nice and smoothly. And another dangerous center by the Houston team. Now here, Davis. Davis has a nice left foot. Will they be able to? No. No one was able to connect for the Houston team there. But they did manage to get the ball back. And here we go with Taylor. Taylor loses the ball. And now I'm going with Aguilar there for Spindola. Spindola has the ball, and it's 3v2. Passes it back to Aguilar. Aguilar to De Leon. De Leon to Martin. Martin shoots. And a nice save by the goalkeeper, Tyler Derrick, if I'm not mistaken. And he punts the ball out. And here we go with Houston coming in, trying to make one last play count, and no, it goes far wide. Bill Hamid puts the ball back, but that's the end of this game with a 1-0 victory for me, thanks in part to EJ, I believe. No matches at the moment. Now I'm just going to advance here and actually switch to my B team. And here we go with another squad report, as I said, that I will be doing monthly. And let's see how many people have improved. Let's see, Perry Kitchen is still pretty unhappy. And the elder players are still losing their physical attributes, I should say. But Birnbaum and Jared Jeffrey look very promising, as does Michael Farfan. And Eddie Johnson. Ooh, Fabian Espinal actually managed to boost himself up by 1 overall. Anyways, to continue, we have the Portland Timbers, who are coached by ex-Akron coach Caleb Porter. Now, Caleb Porter had a wonderful first season with the Timbers and managed to create an identity for them. Nagby was on fire that season, and unfortunately, they weren't able to replicate it with this. I should say that with the last season, I should say. And many people don't know what it accounted for exactly. One of the main points that people bring up is that Donington Nagby wasn't the same player, the same influential player that the Portland Timbers had during the first year with Caleb Porter, and so this kind of diminished how well they played and their ability to actually get results, not only in their home but out of it as well. And as usual, here are the starting 11 for both teams. In DC United, as I said, I got my B team going here, which, based on the level of difficulty I'm playing, should be enough, but we will see what happens. We go with Chris Rolfe, and he hits the wall. I really need to practice on my free kicks here, guys. Otherwise, it's going to be the same story every single time. It's either going to hit the wall or it's going to go far wide. And now here, Adi shoots. Vegas heads the ball, and luckily for us, it goes over the post. Now, that was actually pretty dangerous because of the rebound, which is something I have to work on. Not putting the rebound too close to the opponent. And here we go with the center. And again, the similar thing happens where the player heads the ball, but unfortunately goes wide. Now here you go with Portland again, trying to get in on the action here, with Wallace, an FC United player, passing the ball to Jewsbury. Jewsbury shoots, and the goalkeeper Andrew Dykstra manages to make the save. Now here we go with Diego Valderi, who is a crucial piece of the Portland Timbers team. Unfortunately, he's injured for the beginning of this 2015 season, so the Portland Timbers will have to do without him. Now, as to who will take his spot, I think the most obvious choice, or I guess I shouldn't say most obvious choice, but the choice that most people would probably agree with is that Darlington Nagbe should be the one in the number 10 position, or number 10 spot, I should say, because of his creative IQ and his ability to influence the game, which we saw in the 2013 season. Not so much in the 2014, but maybe it's just some sort of a slump that he will be able to get out of. We're off here, and a nice save by Andrew Dykstra. Now the defenders punt the ball to get it out of danger, and luckily that's how the first half ends, with a 0-0 tie. Here we go with a couple of my changes, and I will be taking I will be taking Kitchen and putting Jeffrey in. I will be putting Michael Seaton. Nope, I guess I was wrong. I'm just making that one change. And the beginning of the second half commences, and here we go. Nice ball to Porter. Porter's going to shoot, and the goalkeeper manages to get the ball. Oh no, what's this? It seems Porter's injured, and typically I would be worried, but honestly, I'm not a big Porter fan, so it doesn't affect me in the slightest. However, I will be able to put Michael Farfan in that position and see how he does, so I can basically evaluate him. Chris Rolfe with a nice cutback. He's all alone, shoots, and it's far wide. And here we go to commence the ball back in play with the Portland Timbers goalkeeper Kasari. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I'm never good with names, so that's probably not the way you pronounce it. And a nice set piece play here by the Portland Timbers. Unfortunately, Andy Wallace, or not Andy Wallace, but just Wallace couldn't get it in frame. And here we go with Connor Doyle. Connor Doyle shoots, and the goalkeeper gets it nice and easy. Now here we go with the Portland Timbers, and all alone here, and nothing. I actually thought that the Portland Timbers had a good chance to open the scoreboard, but unfortunately, the shot just wasn't strong enough. And here we go, and a nice header there by Doyle, but unfortunately, the goalkeeper from Portland was nicely positioned to take care of that ball. Right, here we go with a nice free kick by the Portland Timbers, and my goalkeeper Andrew Dykstra manages to get the ball smoothly, and that's how the game is going to end. So that's it for this episode, guys. Thank you for watching, and tune in next week for the next two upcoming episodes.